Hello, I'm Lise-Lotte. Welcome to the garden. This is Lily, and I've got my greenhouse in the back and some flowers that I wanted to share with you. If you have seen some of the other videos, an earlier video I had done about this jug and how much I absolutely adore this jug. I really am loving some of the late blooming sign, kind of like we're getting a second, maybe third flush of the roses. And I've got two kinds of phlox here, one that I started from seed and one that is a perennial, scabious, rose, other goodies. Anyway, lots of fun stuff. I hope you're well. I hope this finds you well. I wanted to talk today about when you get kind of stuck, which is what I had done last week actually with a project. So I had it in my mind that I needed to mordant the fabric before I did any cyanotype, or for that matter, anything so that's for indigo or for cyanotype. And what it basically means is that you are weighing out your fabric, and then there's kind of an equation like this much fabric, this much of these two, I don't know if they're called chemicals, but chemicals that I have gotten from this shop in Vancouver for doing indigo dyeing. And I have started in the last few years deciding that rather than getting overwhelmed with always trying to do all the things, I'm thinking more seasonally. So now I do my indigo in this late summer and early fall, and the days are warm, so my vat can be nice and warm because that's when it's happiest. And so I've kind of, that's a bit of the rhythm. Like there's a few things that I do like that now that are really, they're really seasonal, and so I was looking forward to it. But I needed to do this fabric, and I didn't know, because it's no use doing, I've learned with cyanotype, with fabric, that it's absolutely no use to try and make a print or whatever with any of this kind of stuff if you haven't prepared the fabric to absorb either the dye or whatever. And so it's kind of basic. Anyway, so I am now following this wonderful woman on Instagram who has been sharing about creativity. And several times I have, in the question that she asks, I've answered it. And then later on, somebody says something to my question or whatever. It's a nice conversation. So the question one day, a few weeks ago, was, what is the one thing that you're going to do that is, I don't know if it was blocking me from something else or what the question was, but my answer was, I'm going to do this with this fabric and prepare the fabric. And then, I don't know, a few days later, somebody who I don't know shows up in my comments section saying, have you done it yet? I was like, wow, like an accountability partner I didn't even know I had. And I hadn't done the fabric yet. And then it was like, oh, I want to do the fabric. So I want to do the indigo dyeing. So last weekend I thought, right, I'm going to be able to tell this stranger on the internet, who I probably will never meet, that I have prepared my fabric. So how am I going to do this? Because the other part of it is that I had bought a course, and unlike most courses, when you get online courses, you can have the content like for your whole lifetime or whatever the lifetime is. I don't know if that's the same as windshield wipers, the same kind of lifetime guarantee that is, but anyway, it's whatever it is, you can always have it, you can always go back to it. And so for the last few years, that's worked out really well because I'm only looking for that information once a year. Anyway, so it was going to time out in November, and November came, and they'd sent a thing saying, you know, make sure you download what you need because it won't be available after this time and so on. And I hadn't done it and stuff, and so I didn't have what I normally had for the information. And, you know, it's not one of these things like kind of cooking where you can kind of make it up. It's more like baking where it's all chemistry, and so you need to have the right thing and so on. So anyway, I thought, well, you know what? I have this kit that I was given And it says right here, a great way to get started. So it's the workhorse vat for indigo dyeing. And I had been given it as a gift like a few years ago. So when I opened the box, sure enough, what was inside at the very top, taking the other things out, but this, can you see that? It says how to dye with indigo, and it has a bunch of information, and then scour the cloth or yarn, like how you clean it, how you build your vat, and then it has nice instructions, different things that you can use, bananas, the fruit vat, all the things. But for this one, it has the workhorse vat, and all the things that are involved were in this box that I needed. And I already had all the stuff, you know, the big pot and everything from last year. So you never know. And I feel as though I've talked about this before here, but you have to take action. You have to take some kind of action, and it's almost like jump and the net will appear. So, you know, I had no idea what was in this box. I've recently cleaned and tidied my studio so that I know that I have things that I had forgotten that I had. I didn't know that the instructions that I needed were in here with the exact proportions of the two chemicals and the weight of the fabric. So I got going, and then it took me almost a day, really, but I mean, it was hours because you have to wait in between and so on to kind of get going. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to make what I had started to make. I'm gonna get it out. What I had started to make, which was a sample from what the teacher had done. And behind the teacher on this online course was this absolutely beautiful dark indigo, well, it's indigo blue around. It was a square piece of cloth and a big circle, and in the circle it was white, like completely white. And then around between the blue and the white, it was just this sort of lovely, you know, thing. So I had started to make the lovely thing. I had I'd done the stitching that was required to do that. And then what you do is you put the middle part in a plastic bag and you tie it really tight. And then that way when you're dyeing it, you're dyeing the outside, but you're not dyeing, like the dye never gets into the middle. And that's how you get that white circle. And so I figured, well, even without the instructions, because it's not in there or anything, but I just was going from memory. Well, anyway, so I had done it, and so I did it this day, and I am happy with the result because I think it's actually quite beautiful. However, as you can see, it is not completely white on the middle because I guess there was a hole, or I didn't tighten it enough, I guess. So it should be like when I put it in, it was like this. And so it should have been really super tight there, and this part being left out, you know, like behind plastic, and then just get the blue. So anyway, but that was my attempt. But I thought, you know what? Hey, you did it. So then I prepared this cloth, and this cloth I had bought actually at this shop in Vancouver. You can buy, and they do it like shipping everywhere and all that kind of stuff. And this is organic cotton, and it would have been woven in India. And it already has, and I'll show some closer up pictures here so I don't disturb Lily, but it already has the little, you know, things on the end and all the things, and it's just kind of a fun lot with lots of circles. Put this down so it doesn't fall down. With lots of circles. So then I played with it. I folded it a few times over so that I was making essentially four. Did I do 4 or did I do 8? I think I did 8 actually. Does that seem right? Yes, I think I did 8. And so what you do is you clip stuff on, if these ones here are done with elastics, And so for this one, actually, I put a little piece of pasta that has a little heart shape, and I put it in there so it was really, really solid, like firmly in there, and then rubber bands around the outside. It's a little bit tie-dye in that way, right? And then the ones on the side, like this is I think it was a 2 krona. It's got the little circle. It's a Danish coin. It has the little circle inside. And this one is some kind of washer from the hardware store that has the circle inside a circle. The other ones are coins. And then I dyed that. So I'm quite happy with it. But more than that, I'm happy that I got started. And because now I have this to wear, and I still have I checked the pH of the vat. I've still got lots of good indigo to go. So I mean, I can continue to do some more dyeing this coming weekend, which I'm really looking forward to, and the weather should be good. So the vat will be nice and warm. It'll be happy. And yeah, so I just really encourage you to take the first step. And even if sometimes there's something, hey, you never know, maybe in a box that you had never opened, or maybe opened at Christmas Day or something when you got it, who knows, that the instructions that you're looking for all along would be in there. Like, maybe that'll happen. Or maybe you can Google it, or maybe you can call the store, or maybe you can just buy the one thing, or go to the library and get the book out to say whatever the thing is, whatever it is you need. But I just hope that my little story today can act as a little bit of like, you know what, there's something that I am blocked in doing, and there's one little thing, and if I could just get over that one little thing, then I'm going to have the fun of the making of whatever it is. So my next thing that I'm doing is that I'm asking for help from a friend for a few stitches. I'm not picking up enough stitches for this. It looks like a vest right now, but it's actually meant to be a sweater. Well, I mean, it is a sweater, but I need to do the sleeve. So I need to pick up the stitches around the like from the top to here, and I'm not getting the right number of stitches, and I can't figure out why. So I'm going to see a friend who's a knitter, and I'm going to be able to ask her. So that's my next thing, to kind of get me unblocked from doing these sleeves, that I know that winter me is going to be very appreciative that I have done that. And I look forward to sort of finishing the thing that I had started too. So I hope that those stories are helpful in some way, and I would love to know in the comments what is something that you are going to do that will kind of clear the little, you know, the little creek down the side of the mountain there. Like, what is it that is holding you up from doing the creative thing that you would like to be doing in this season? And what is it that you're going to do? Maybe one simple little thing, and you could let me know, and then maybe that is enough to nudge you in the direction of doing the thing, so that you can have the fun of playing and making and creating. So that is what I offer for you today. And if you find the videos that I'm doing here helpful in any way, I would love for you to pass them on to somebody who you think might appreciate them, and maybe somebody that you know who needs a little nudge of something, and this story could be a little story to help her kind of get clear on that, and get on with making the fun things that we all want to do. So I hope that you're having a good afternoon, and I wish you peace on your path.